Ladies, gentlemen, welcome aboard the Josh the Kun. Today we'll be taking an in-depth look at anything and all things magic shown during the Final Fantasy XV Uncovered event. Without further ado, let the analysis begin.
That's a weird thing to fight.
The Behemoth. So here he just casted Blizzara.
You heard it here, folks. This is our first look at Blizzara, one of the elemental magics. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Down in the left-hand corner of the screen, a part of the user interface shows the player what weapon or spell is assigned to each respective button on the D-pad. In this case, Blizzara is currently equipped as represented by the snowflake emblem. Just under that resides text which indicates that Noctis only has 2 more Blizzara spells in stock. There's a behemoth amount of information here, but before we press on, there are a few things at the start of the clip that I would like to point out. Let's backpedal for a minute. Okay, keep your eyes on Noctis' hand. While it is hard to notice, we do see him pull out one of his blue balls from his inventory. No pun intended. In this specific frame, we can clearly see it in Noctis' hand before it is used up to create this impressive snowstorm.
Feel the piercing chill!
If you haven't caught on yet, in 15, elemental magic is considered an item. As shown in past footage, the spheres serve as a consumable catalyst to invoke powerful spells. Before Blizzard is casted, take note of the area in front of the behemoth. A blue spherical line with a glowing center within it. This is an in-game marker. Its purpose is to show the player the proximity of a spell's initial area of effect. A cool little detail is how the color of the sphere and marker differ depending on the type of spell being used. An orangey orange fit for any lovers of Hellfire, and a nice azure hue for any fans of Diamond Dust. If this trend holds up, don't be surprised if these turn out to be purple for Thunder. Alright, enough of that. Back to the analysis. Right as the frigid hailstorm hits, the behemoth loses 299 health points as indicated by the blue text. At the same time, we see the boy band take their fair share of damage recorded by the red text. While the actual damage seems weak, the spell makes up for it with its potent after effects. The terrain dramatically changes as shown by the rapidly increasing snowy particle effects. Once the Winter Wonderland clears up, we can admire the awesome power of Blizzara. While the landscape and vegetation in the area seems to be fine, the behemoth and the entire boy band get a lethal serving of frosty goodness. Furthermore, in addition to everybody looking like Jack Frost, being frozen actually affects the behaviors and movement speed of the unfortunate victims. How do we know this? You've probably noticed by now, in the bottom right corner next to the boy band status bars lies another snowflake crest, proving that they've all been debuffed with the effects of Blizzara. And obviously, the behemoth has been debuffed as well. I mean, look at it. It looks like an ice sculpture.
Feel the piercing chill!
Anyhow, with this fact established, we can proceed to the evidence. Behold, Exhibit A. Look at how long it takes the behemoth to process what just happened before regaining its composure to dash towards Noctis. About 6 seconds. Exhibit B. Observe Prompto and Gladio as they slowly inch away from the behemoth before regaining their normal movement speed. Oh, and Ignis? Well, after witnessing the pain he went through, he deserves to chill there. Exhibit C. Noctis. What's interesting here is that Noctis does not seem sluggish at all. Apparently he can run at normal speed and even roll dodge and warp away at will. What's up with that? After observing the clip numerous times, I noticed that after the initial hit that Noctis took from Blizzara, the behemoth was able to sneak in another blow on poor old Noctis. Whether or not taking a physical hit disables the sluggish debuff or not is unclear since the icon remains to be seen. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below with your thoughts. Finally, here's the concluding piece of evidence from a past progress report. Exhibit D for Daddy Tabata. When asked about the effects of Blizzard, Tabata responded with, their movement will be sluggish or even freeze to death. Okay, so we definitely noticed the sluggish behaviors, but nothing close to freezing to death. We'll get into that soon enough, but it is at this very moment the behemoth knew it done goofed and proceeded to GTFO before Noctis had the chance to turn it into a yummy behemoth steak. That about does it for this clip. Was it enough to satisfy your Arctic appetite for sorcery? If your answer is no, fear not, because the Reclaim Your Throne and Uncovered trailers contain a delectable dessert that is sure to appease you. Before going in depth, let's take a few seconds to relish this moment. Beautiful. There are certain things I would like to point out. The first clip is taken from the Uncovered trailer, which I will name Clip A, while the latter is taken from the Reclaim Your Throne trailer. This will be Clip B. Both clips are similar in nature, however there are key differences between them. Clip A is taken from a Japanese build with Noctis fighting solo. On the other hand, Clip B is an English build with the entire boy band present. Additionally, both clips show Noctis fighting a serpent-like creature called the Midgardsormr, yet the locations aren't exactly the same. More on that in a bit. For now, let's jump right into Clip A. Clip A does an amazing job at demonstrating how formidable Blizzard can actually be. This time we get a nice clear look at a monster who's about to be frozen. Oh, and one more thing, the Japanese katakana characters below spell out Burizado in Romaji. That's right, unlike the Behemoth clip, this is in fact Blizzard and not Blizzara. Onwards to Clip B. Here the Midgardsormr has met with a terrible fate. This time it's in a complete deep freeze, giving Noctis and the boy band the time to move in and deliver some much needed butt kicking. If serpents had butts, that is. Remember how the terrain in the Behemoth clip didn't sustain any frost? Well, this time the blizzard is super effective. Why? The key difference is that this battle is taking place on swampland. Allow me to show you another clip in the trailer. Here we can clearly see this area is indeed swampland. Cool. Now back to Clip B. In this frame we can definitely see the water has frozen over. Check out the minimap above, surely they're fighting in shallow water. To further prove the point, here's what Tabata stated in the past progress report. If there is water in its initial area of effect, then that water will freeze for a bit. With that being said, I can't help but wonder what Blizzard would look like when casted in the rain. Interesting stuff. What is unclear about Clip B is the variant of the spell. Since Noct has his sword equipped, it is unknown if this is Blizzara, Blizzard, or even Blizzaga. The fact that the snowflake emblem is identical between Clip A and the Behemoth clip, despite the different spells, doesn't help either. One last thing I thought was worth mentioning is the exact location of the two clips in relation to each other. When lining up the minimaps with north up top, all is revealed. Nothing major, I just thought I'd throw it out there. Woo! And that concludes everything I discovered about Blizzard. Up next is a spell we are all familiar with, Fire. During the entirety of the event, there were only 2 instances of footage where the spell was used. As you can see here, it's the same old spell we've seen over and over again with next to nothing new to learn about. Therefore, we will skip over it. Don't worry, if you wanted an in-depth analysis of Fire, then I've got you covered. It already exists. You can click this annotation to open it up in another tab. Oh, and the Fireworks spell in the Platinum demo does not count as it behaves differently. Speaking of which, if you'd like me to conduct an analysis on the Platinum demo's magic, be sure to let me know with a comment below. Alright, so we've covered Blizzard and Fire. What's next? To complete the elemental magic triad, we just need Thunder. While there have been many hints and visual teases thus far, sadly, Thunder has yet to make an appearance to the public eye. This kills me as it is my favorite spell in the entirety of Final Fantasy. But there is one final saving grace. Feast your eyes. I present to you Thunder Bolt. Yes, it's not the actual spell that would appear in the final game, but this is the closest we've got. All we can hope for in the future is that Thunder will turn out to be totally badass. This concludes the analysis of all things uncovered of magic at the event. I leave you with one last thing. If you didn't catch the significance of that, remember, in 15 there are 2 types of magic. Elemental magic, which we've just covered, and of course, ring magic. Not much has been revealed, but here's a quick rundown. Ring magic is only usable after a certain point in the story, and it is only usable by the bearer of the royal ring, which is passed down the line of royalty. Consequently, it is exclusive to King Regis and Prince Noctis. so here's to hoping for more clarification as to what it does in the future. By the way, technically summons are magic, but that's for another video in the future. Obvious cop-out is obvious. Mission complete! If you thought I missed anything, leave some comments below. If you enjoyed what I did, send some magic my way by hitting that like button. And I highly recommend watching my other magic analysis video where I go more in depth with the mechanics itself. Link will be down in the description below. Seriously, watch it. If you enjoyed the ride, consider boarding the Josh the Cole by subscribing. But of course, I'm Oh My Josh. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Final Fantasy greatness, and I'll catch you later.
Feel the power of my magic!